Depression.
Okay, now that we got the first word of the new channel out of the way, let me brief you on what the deal is here. Now, before I decided I was going to document everything and share it with the whole internet, I thought, man, I hate my life. Let's make it worse by making a whole 2D platformer from the ground up with no experience by myself. What could go wrong? So I've had this idea for a story that I genuinely think is pretty good. Not to toot my own horn or anything. But I don't really feel like writing a book, so I thought the next best thing was to make a video game. You know, genius. Not genius. It became the bane of my existence. But at least it has a splash of psychological horror, but other than that, it's totally child-friendly. With that said, it meant that I had the characters and what they would do already in mind, so now all I have to do is make sprites. Pretty easy, right? I feel like this is a pretty good time to say I have never done this before, and I am not an artist. And because I have no experience, and yet also needed sprites to see how the animations would work, I needed a much more simplistic approach, which reminded me of one of my favourite games ever made. It's perfect. So let's make our completely knockoff characters at the snap of my finger, and wow, they're perfect, they're beautiful. Wow, great, awesome, crazy. I'm not gonna get sued for this, am I? Initially, I did not intend my main character to look like the actual kindergarten protagonist, but it's not my fault I look like the guy. I'm trying to make myself here. I did, however, manage to make the characters look kind of independent from the other game I'm completely ripping off. Kinda. Which is good, considering throughout the game you don't just play as one character. It's technically two. Let me explain. The core game mechanic works as follows. You play as a human teenager who's got a symbiotic alien attached to him. Just like, that one Marvel movie character that, is completely original. Guys, it's different, I promise. The human is capable of solving puzzles and interacting with the environment, while the alien handles combat. Like a two-player co-op game, but for loners with no friends. Amazing! The goal of the game is confidential, so I guess you'll have to wishlist it on Steam and play it when it's done. I don't make the rules, sorry. I do make the rules, just go buy my game when it's done. Please. Thanks. So now we have our sprites and the idea to make it happen, so let's, do that, I guess. Loading into a new Unity project, I make both of the players and their animations. Now you're probably thinking, but Oliver, you big stupid bitch, you need code to make that happen. Idiot. I know, and I hate you. I mean, you're actually right, I need to learn a whole new programming language to make my game function. Can't be too hard. I learned GCSE computer science for 3 years, I can make deal or no deal in Python, kinda. C# should be a walk in the park. With that said, I'm going to park that sentence next to a big dog pile of foreshadowing. In all honesty, C# is pretty weird, but it's not as bad as I thought. I get the gist on how it works, but I'm not like fully efficient nor fluent, so I mean, you know, good old is gonna have to help me fix things here and there. But I mean, it's totally fine, right guys? Please don't hate me, the only job it's stealing is mine, and I'm not even getting paid right now, so it's totally ethical, right guys? Right guys? Right guys? So now they have and they actually work. Now I could sit and explain how they work, but let's be real, you ain't here for that. This isn't a Brackies tutorial, this is a serious attempt of making my dream game as a dumbass kid. Cool, so I have a player that can switch between two different characters on a dime, and each do different things. Fantastic, right? Wrong! The characters alone took me like way too long to sort out. I mean, it's been like a month at this point and I've only done the player. I need to get a real job. This is taking me nowhere. The alien shoots lasers with his eyes that can be fired every second, can rocket hop with his down attack, and can dash. Oh wow, that's so cool and badass. Wow, awesome sauce. What does the other guy do? He can touch stuff. I'm sorry, what? Like I said, the human can interact with things around him, like push boxes and hit buttons and swing on ropes, whereas the alien can't. That's something. Oh, okay, that's fair enough, so let me get this straight. On one hand, you can play as a totally kick-ass alien with laser eyes, dashing capabilities, and can fly with rocket launcher that he materializates out of absolutely thin air. And then on the other hand, some regular-ass dude. And to that I say, yes! You might also be wondering, why wouldn't you play as the alien the whole time? He seems a lot cooler. Because I said so. Seriously though, he's like important to the story. Like, you know, it's a puzzle game too, so just trust me on this one, okay? Okay, great start. A month has passed and I made pixels walk and do stuff. That's pretty cool. Next, we need some bad guys to mess up. This process is actually still ongoing. I'm not American, I'm British. This process is actually still ongoing, so like, subscribe. Please. I mean, you'll get to see what happens next, because even I don't know what's going to happen at this point, you know? Best way to put it, it's like a roller coaster I forced myself onto and now can't leave and just want to throw up all the time. Why do I do this to myself? However, here's what I mustered up so far. That's my... I don't know how my face is moving, I can't see. I came up with a parody for the main antagonist in the game based on the Men in Black, respectfully calling them, you're not even ready for this, the Blokes in Burgundy. Hilarious, I know! So with that said, let me show you the types. We got the Gunman, the Reaper, and the Drone. The Gunman shoots the player, obviously, and retreats when the player gets too close. The Reaper lunges at the player with a big scythe constantly when in range, and the Probe hovers in the air and attacks only the alien, for lore purposes. Side note, speaking of lore, this game is going to be so full of it, MatPat will come out of retirement. Moving on from them, we have the Cult, a magic society working with the BIB. Yes, that name is official. Deal with it. And they also try stopping you as the player in your tracks. As of now, I only have like 2 of them, the Sludgers and the Ragers. Those aren't the official names, but those are fun names. We can all agree on that. No, we can't. No, probably not, actually. I need to go back to the drawing board. The Sludgers were easy to make, just like everything else would be. He shoots a purple orb that follows the player, and if made contact, the player is gooped and his speed is cut in half for 5 seconds. In a situation where you're fighting for your life, mess you up big time. Next, we have the, problem child. This little freak took 4 hours to code, not because the code is all too complicated, but because he just, for the life of him, did not want to function the way he was supposed to. And for Unity, this is pretty common, but this time broke me. It was a school night, right, at like 1:30 in the morning, and I just wanted to sleep. However, my brain ain't built like that. The pesky little peanut just wouldn't let me walk to my bed and get in it and sleep until the enemy was done. So guess what I did? I just want you to watch this video and just listen. Simply listen to the lack of soul in my voice after this guy was done. Look at the time. Just look at it. It is 1:15 in the morning. I sat down at around 9 PM. This time I cried because I literally just wanted to go to bed. I just want to sleep. Luckily, I don't have to be up till later. But the point still stands. I've been here for 4 hours trying to make this work. Was it worth it? Absolutely not. Not even close was it worth it. I'm sick of looking at this. I actually am. I've been in and out of it. I've been in and out of this. Right, I'll just let it speak for itself. So, this is a new bad guy, for the record. Ignore that the UI is hanging off the screen. Right, so you can see it's white. And then when he's about to shoot, he turns red and it stops and you get out of the way. Cool. It's an obstacle, you dodge it, it works, right. So then when it's red, it does damage to the player. This is what computer science is about, baby. 4 hours just to get a line moving, tracking the player accurately, doing good damage. And honestly, I'm glad it's done. So help me, baby Jesus Christ. This was impossible. I honestly can't cope. I just want to go to bed. I'm so tired. I hate my life. I'm ready to end it all. If you're hearing this, I'm probably dead. Man, I did it. And that really is all he does. He points his funky little white line at the player, and when it turns red, it deals damage. But Jesus H. Christ, he just would not do that. At first, he wasn't doing damage at all. Then, he couldn't stop doing damage no matter if it was touching the red or not. Then, he had the audacity to work sometimes and not others. So obviously, I was like, what gives? Hell, not even cheating with AI could fix it. Eventually, after minutes of crying, many air breaks, and a splash of alcohol, kidding, I got there in the end. And I have to admit, I'm very happy with it. But man, was it a lot of trouble. So that's about it. You're all caught up. Everything I do now will be documented and you'll see as I go through it. I guess this is like the trailer. Not very cinematic, but the pilot episode. Yeah, this is the pilot of the channel. Will this series be good? No, it won't be, because this is the first time I've ever been in front of a camera, and it feels awkward. But if you enjoyed this video by slim chance, you know, you can bet your sweet there's gonna be more where that came from. You can watch me mentally break down over a game of my own creation, and what a game it'll turn out to be. Do I say the end? Is this how I end it? The end? To be continued. Yeah, that feels right.